Let go of me.
No, I won't. I guess I did have a favourite character. I thought it was the younger woman who sings, and she's got shorts on most of the time. I think she's got the most amazing legs.
We do play against each other and with each other very well.
Come on, get in the goddamn frame!
And she comes over and she shakes me. Shut up! I go, woo!
I rather fancy it.
Roddy McDowell, he looked good in that movie. I guess they gave him a little French accent or something.
Could you help me down? I've injured my leg.
He was wonderful to work with because he was a consummate professional on the set. When all hell would break loose, Roddy was just, children will misbehave.
Shove it, shove it, shove it.
The little boy was, annoying. He had some good lines, though.
It's all right, Mrs. Rosen. I helped my dad pull in a 600-pound swordfish off Hawaii.
As Ronnie Neiman said, the only real adult was little Eric.
What are you doing up there, sis?
That's a stupid question.
My favorite part is when Susan finds out she can't climb that Christmas tree in a long dress. Thank God she's wearing matching red hot pants underneath.
You can't climb in a long gown, so it'll have to come off, okay?
I think she's got a little bit of a thing for him. But what's going on in his heart?
You are gonna get us out of here, aren't you?
Oh, you bet I am, Susan. You bet I am.
There were only a handful of survivors. And that held the audience because they then wanted to know who is going to survive.
Something interesting was coming. A film that was big with a disaster, with people caught and trapped inside a ship. Hell upside down. And it worked. Years ago, the decks of the Queen Mary were home to the cast and crew of the Poseidon Adventure. Now fans come aboard to celebrate the film that changed their lives. The event is the brainchild of fan club president Jack Castro.
I created the Poseidon Adventure fan club because, like the majority of Poseidon Adventure fans, I always thought all my life I was the only one who really liked this movie. About 4 years ago is when I realized that there were other people out there who liked this movie as much as I did. And then I realized there were people in other countries. And I thought when I first started the fan club, I would probably be lucky if I hit 30 members. Now we're over 150. We're in our third year. We've got members from 8 different countries. And about once a week, I get an email from somebody who's going to join the fan club.
It's absolutely lovely to be back on the Queen Mary again. And also, it's lovely to be reminded of the picture because I thoroughly enjoyed it. I had a great time. I just didn't think that it was going to be anything more than just another picture. People who have seen it 30 times will still pay $20 for a charity event to see it again. And they paid $35 on the Queen Mary to see it on the SS Poseidon herself.
I thought I was the only one, and these Poseidon freaks all over the place,
I live in Tampa, Florida, across the country. I flew in last night. I'm flying back tomorrow.
England, Bedfordshire.
Friends, I'm from New York.
Oh, right.
Chris Rocchio from San Diego. We come from Australia in a city called Brisbane. Now Jeff here, he's a very good friend of mine, and lo and behold, he asked me to come on this trip to the States with him. And the reason being was for the Poseidon Adventure screening.
It still amazes me to this day, regardless of all the emails I've read and all the stories I've heard about Poseidon, that there is such an incredible fan base.
I finally made it. I came all the way from Chicago. It's finally the day. I'm seeing the Poseidon Adventure on the Queen Mary.
Welcome to paradise for Poseidon Adventure fans. Photos of their favorite stars, original scripts, movie posters, and rare memorabilia satisfy their insatiable hungers for all things Poseidon. Fan club members from around the world unite on the ship where it all began. In any language, if it says Poseidon, it's here.
And there were like 25 guys dressed as me. There were guys dressed as Shelley. There were guys dressed like Jean with a torn shirt. There were a couple of Ernie Borgnines running around, almost like a Rocky Horror thing that they talk back to the screen. They know all the dialogue. When I say, "Did you like his music?" the house just falls down. One of the dumber lines in the world. But it worked.
Oh, can't you see the morning after?
We're moving closer to the shore.
It's got to be before you'll begin and find a place that's safe and warm.
It was my idea to have a song that might possibly be successful.
He said, a ship is going down, people are dying, everything is on fire, so do me a favor and make it positive.
And believe it or not, the next day, they came back with lyrics, and that's how it became There's Got to Be a Morning After.
You know, it's always a thrill for a songwriter to have their songs done in a movie, especially one that seemed like it was destined to be a big hit.
Why don't we cross the bridge together and find a place that's safe and warm?
There's got to be a morning after.
Well, you know, actually I heard that it was filmed here. Part of it was filmed here based on the Queen Mary. So that's kind of fun.
Poseidon Adventure was supposed to be the Queen Mary. The idea for Paul Gallico's novel came when he was sailing on the Queen Mary. Good morning, Mr. and Mrs. Rosen.
Good morning. Don't fall over.
The type of fans that this movie seems to attract are the people who like to live it and relive it.
They love it more every year, every time they see it. They've memorized the lines, and like in the Rocky Horror Show, they yell them out before they happen on the screen.
Linda Rogo, the beautiful blonde ex-hooker, turns to Ernest Borgnine, her tough-as-nails detective husband, and says, "To love, dummy."
Mr. Scott,
In the water.
I'm a very skinny lady.
That's heavy, Robin. Real heavy.
I think the favorite line I had in the Poseidon Adventure for most of my fans is,
Panties, what else do I need?
Panties, what else do I need? Panties, what else do I need?
Panties, what else do I need?
panties, what else do I need? I wish I had hundreds of pairs of those panties right now. I could sell them on eBay, I think.
Linda.
Of course, it wouldn't be a disaster movie without a few good deaths.
Shelley Winter's death scene was probably the most memorable. It was definitely sad. She sacrificed herself to save everybody else.
She dives in and saves the preacher, and then has a heart attack on the other side, and then she dies.
When I read the script of the Poseidon Adventure, I said to my agent, the fat lady gets a nomination, you know.
Hold on, Mrs. Rosen. Just hold on.
Just got it. Enough is enough.
I remember crying in the theater when I was 8, watching it for the first time, getting really involved and emotional when she died.
Seeing her underwater rescue, I had to say she did deserve that nomination.
That's the sign for life. Life always matters very much.
And I said, well, and I die 6 pages before the end. And he said, yeah, well, it's in the book, and they're going to stick to that.
I always hated when Linda Rogo falls. And every single time I watch it, I keep thinking, hold on this time.
The character Linda Rogo died in the book, but I think in the movie they should have let her live. It's one of the great injustices in movie making and storytelling.
People were sad when Linda died, and the reason they were was because of wonderful Ernest Borgnine.
You took from me the only thing I ever loved in the whole world. My Linda. You killed her!
So I knew I had to die, but I knew I would rise again somehow.
What more do you